Welcome, my friends. Consider the expression 1/4 multiplied by -2/7. In order for two fractions to be added or subtracted, we must have a common denominator, but that does not apply to multiplying fractions. In order to multiply fractions, all you need to do is multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. There are a few ways to handle the negative sign in this problem, but I prefer to attach the negative sign to the number in the numerator in most cases. Therefore, multiplying numerator and denominator in our problem, we have 1 times -2 in the numerator and 4 times 7 in the denominator. This simplifies to -2/28. Typically, we want to reduce our fractions as much as possible. Both 2 and 28 are divisible by 2, meaning if we divide each number by 2, we still get a whole number. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 28 divided by 2 is 14. So the simplified fraction is -1 divided by 14. Let's try another example. We have 5/7 times -2 times 3 over -8. We can rewrite -2 as -2 divided by 1, so that it is in fraction form, which helps us to see that we are really just multiplying three fractions together. There also isn't really any reason to keep the parentheses, so I've dropped them here. The next thing I might notice is that I have two negative numbers multiplied by each other, which will make a positive number. So I can rewrite the problem as 5/7 times 2/1 times 3/8. Since we might not be allowed to use a calculator, it's oftentimes a good idea to simplify any part of the problem before multiplying the fractions. Let's focus on 2/1 times 3/8. The 2 and the 8 can be reduced. 2/8 is the same thing as 1/4. So we can rewrite the problem as 5/7 times 1/1 times 3/4. Since 1/1 is just 1, that gets rid of our middle term. Now we can multiply across. 5 times 3 is 15, and 7 times 4 is 28. 15/28 is our answer, which is in simplest form, meaning it cannot be reduced. Let's try dividing fractions. Consider 20/7 divided by -12/35. Now, if you can multiply fractions, you can also divide fractions. Dividing fractions is the same as multiplying the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second fraction. The reciprocal is just a fancy way of saying use the same fraction but flipped. In terms of our problem, that means instead of dividing by -12/35, we can multiply by 35/12, the reciprocal of -12/35, and we will get the same answer. We notice that both 20 and 12 are divisible by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. We also notice that both 7 and 35 are divisible by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1, and 35 divided by 7 is 5. Altogether, we have 5/1 multiplied by -5/3. Notice I brought the negative sign from the denominator to in front of the fraction. Multiplying our numerators and denominators together, we get -25/3, which is in simplest form. All right, my friends, that completes our video discussing multiplying and dividing fractions.